can never really get the schedule down because my schedule is always changing, but at least I can pop in. And you guys can always do these workouts on your own. They save in the live section of my page. Okay, so today we have 20-minute glutes. I said I'm going to be using a set of 25s. Honestly, for some of it, just for demoing purposes, I may use 15s, but the goal and the point is that you are using your heaviest set, especially for things like glute bridges and stuff like that. But I will let you know as we go. So we still have to start with our warm-up. We've got 20 minutes today. Everything we do is 30 seconds long, every movement, so it's all about form, not about speed. So let's go ahead and start with elbow to knee tucks in 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna tuck that chest, twist and squeeze. Tuck and squeeze. Just like this. And twist, 20 seconds. Tuck and squeeze. Tuck and squeeze. 10 seconds. Like this. And twist. Boom. Good. Next, we're going to do our hip hinges so we can lengthen out those hamstrings. I haven't done these in a while, so I'm going to take them slow. It's going to feel that tight pull for a minute. It's going to get a little easier as you go down and up, down and up. Squeezing the glutes at the top, down, really straighten out those legs, and back up, down and up. Last few. Let's get a squat in 3, 2, and 1. So feet are wider than shoulder width, toes slightly turned out, down and up, like this. So good. Deep breaths. We have 20 seconds. Knees out, in line with toes. Breathe. Keep your chest up, relax the shoulders, but do keep good posture. Tuck the belly in, embrace the abs. We have arm circles back in 3, 2, and 1. So big circles like this. Back. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Big circles. We're going to switch direction in 5, in 3, 2, and 1. Swimming. Big circles forward. Like this. And 5. Let's get the second round of the warm-up in 3, 2, and 1. Tuck, twist, tuck, twist. You really want to squeeze your core for this. You actually feel those abs. Tuck, squeeze, squeeze. So good. Keep those abs tight. Very important. We're almost done with this warm-up. Tuck and twist, elbow to knee. Let's get those hip hinges in 3, 2, 1. So again, leading with my chest, right? I'm not rounded. It's the opposite. Up and down. Only a slight bend in the knees. That's how I'm going to feel the backs of the legs. Down and up. Down and up. And up. Reach. Keep those shoulders pulled back. And down. All right, we have our squats. 3, 2, 1. Down and up. And up. Keep the weight in the heels, making sure your knees are never coming past your toes. Down and up. That's it. Last one. Arm circles back in 3, 2, 1. Big full circles. Like this. Core is tight. Relax the shoulders. Opening up the chest. Switch direction. Last move of the warm-up. Big full twist. So good. We are going to get started in 3, 2, 1. So pretend I'm picking up a 25 or something nice and heavy. We are going to start with a curtsy lunge with a pulse. So I'm going to go back and over, down, pulse, and up. So the key is that I'm actually trying to feel my left glutes with this by digging my left heel into the mat. That's all I'm trying to do here. activate those front glutes, not so much the quads, and I'm going to do that by digging my left heel into the mat, like this. Other side, 3, 2, 1. Back, over, and up. And up. Core is nice and tight. Watch that front knee. So you have to really make sure your knees never come past your toes. It's never here, right? You really need to send your foot all the way back, over, and up. And up. Over. Last one. Back. Whoop, I'm falling. Back, over, and up. Okay, grab the other weight. Again, I recommend going as heavy as you can. Straight leg deadlifts. Down and up. So we practice this form, right, with those hip hinges. Leading with my chest, up. Lead with that chest, and up. Abs are tight. Down, a little bit past the knees. Down, get those hammies. Last one. Okay. Next, we are gonna rack those weights up. I like to hold them like this. Toes are forward, not turned out. We're gonna do a static side lunge. All the way down, so we're lateral split squat. So my toes are forward because the knee is gonna go forward. Not turning my knees out. Really what we're doing is sending the butt back. You don't want those knees to come past the toes. And that's it. Dropping the weights down, bringing the feet in. We're gonna do a low squat, pulse, and up. So if your weights are heavy, you can kind of keep them centered. Just don't wanna like let this go into the lower back at all. Pulse, knees in line with toes. Up, down, pulse, up, down, pulse, and up. Let's go side lunge, 3, 2, 1. Down and up. So we're getting those glutes again. Any kind of lateral movement is a really good way to get into the glutes without getting into the quads. But you have to make sure to sit your weight into your heels, not the balls of the feet. So I'm sitting back, sending the booty back nice and far. Back and down. Last one. Other side. 3, 2, and 1. So we are trying to go a bit heavier with these movements because we're trying to build some size in the glutes. Back and up. Setting those hips way back and reset. So good. Okay, last one. Bringing the weights back down. Next, we have a sumo squat pulse, low pulses. Then we're gonna come down to the mat. So we're gonna pulse, pulse, pulse. So again, you're not falling forward. Knees are not past the toes. You're sitting back. Someone's pulling your hips back. Back, nice and far. Pulse, pulse it out. 10 seconds. Send those hips back. We come down in 3, 2, 1. Drop the weights. Make our way down. So if you do have heavy weights or you have an even heavier one, like I usually use an 80-pound when I do this. So definitely want to go heavy. Weights on the hips. We're just going to start with full range squat. Down and up. And up. So good. We're gonna add an abduction. I know we don't have a band, but you can still feel it a bit. Knees are gonna go out and in at the top. Up, out, in, down. Don't drop the hips as you abduct out and in. Stay up, out, in, down. 15 seconds. And down. Up, out, in, down. Last one, and down. Next thing we're gonna do is up, tiptoes, weights, down. Up, tiptoes for your calves, reset, and down. So you're definitely feeling the glutes by now. Reset, take it nice and slow. You have 15 seconds here. Make sure to breathe. Last one. And down. Right into lying leg raise. Love to get into those abductors. So I'm resting my weight. You can go as heavy as you really can here. So this is a 15, but probably max I would go is 20. And I'm gonna raise and lower. So I know automatically you're gonna wanna like face your hips towards the ceiling, but it's the opposite. Stack them and think about using your glute to raise and lower the weight. So I'm leading with my heel. That's it. Okay, so we're gonna stay on the same side. This is my right side. I'm gonna go ahead and put this weight behind my knee. Yep, super heavy. We're gonna take it really slow. If you need to go lighter, you can. And if your weight is just too heavy, you can go body weight. But we're gonna fire hydrant with our 15. This is about as heavy as I'll go for a fire hydrant. Or if I'm doing like a 20, probably only do 8 reps or something shorter. Last one. Okay. Other side. Coming down. Weights on the side of the leg. Stack the hips. Raise and lower. Up and down. Again, all up in the glutes. So yeah, don't start to open your hips. It's actually just a really small raise. If you open your hips facing towards the ceiling, yes, you have a larger raise, but it's in the hip flexor and not in the glutes, which we don't want. Okay, we're up. Hydrant it out nice and quick. Get a few. 3, 2, 1. I usually kind of put the side of the dumbbell behind my knee so that it's not like cutting up my skin. It's honestly ideal to do something like this with a full legging on and not bare skin. Also depends the dumbbells you have. All right, drop it. And let's stretch quickly. Pigeon pose. Let's get all up in those hips and in that glute. Wiggle it out. Get the other side. Wiggle it out. Okay, 15 seconds. We're back to it, guys. We have that one more time through, and then we are already done. But I do recommend a full hour of workout. But I know that we don't always have the time. Curtsy in 3, 2, 1. So back, over, add that pulse. Back, over. Chest is staying up, core is engaged. And up. Back, pulse, and up. Other side, 3, 2, 1. Back, and up. Back, pulse, up. So good. Digging that heel in. Can't look at you guys and do this clearly. So it's not a reverse lunge, it's a curtsy. So you need to make sure to add that like foot over. Pulse. Back, pulse. Okay, deadlifts. Remember, you're only bending those knees slightly. Feet are just shoulder width apart, hip width apart. Down and up. Squeeze the glutes at the top to complete the full movement. Squeeze. Squeeze. Down. Squeeze. Up. Squeeze. Rack the weights. We have our lateral split squat. So I'm wide, but toes are forward. Sit the booty back. Sit the booty back. All the way back. Reset. Back and reset. 15 seconds. 10. Sit it back. Okay, so now you're gonna put your weights between your legs, down, pulse, up. Reset. Watch the back. Make sure you're engaging those abs. And up. 15 seconds. Pulse and up. Great. Okay. Weights back up, side lunge. 3, 2, 1. Down, pulse. No pulse. I'm so used to pulsing. Down, send the hips back, reset. Down and back up. Awesome. Send the hips back. Okay, other side. 3, 2, 1. So you're sending the hips back. Remember that front knee, my knee is not bending past my toes. Don't want it to go in the quads. Trying to get it all in the glutes. Back up. 10 seconds. And last thing we are going to do is our pulses. So I'm going to stay low for this. 3, 2, and 1. We pulse it out before coming to the mat. Pulse it out. So I'm in like a 3/4 squat, focusing on digging my heels in. Toes are peeling off the ground. Send that booty back as much as possible. We're done in 3, 2, 1. Drop those weights. We have our glute bridges. Weight on the hips. Okay. Up and down. So my feet are just hip width apart. I'm going as high as I can. Up, squeeze, down. Up, squeeze. Last one. Next we have abductions. So now we're up, out, in, down. Make sure your hips do not fall as you're abducting. Down. And down. Out, in, down. Keep going. Up. 10 seconds. Push through the heels, also super important. Next thing we're gonna do, our last one is up, tippy toe raise, and down. The harder it is how close, like if you bring your heels in closer, it'll be a little bit harder because you've got to raise those hips up even higher. Up, heel raise, and down. 10 seconds. Few moves left. Let's drop to the side. We have our leg raise. So remember with this, really stack the hips. Super important. Think about the glute raising and lowering this weight. You also want to move it as close to your knee as possible to really use those abductors, so those side of the leg muscles. That's it. 10 seconds. And fire hydrant. Raise and lower. Raise, lower. Woo, sweating. Almost done. And back down. 2 more. Keep those hips nice and square. Last one. Other side. Get right into it. Rest that weight. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Up, down. Stack the hips. Think using that outside glute muscle. You're not using the front of the hips to raise your leg. Raise and lower. Fire hydrant. 3, 2, and 1. Weights here. Up and down. Up. 15 seconds. And down. Last one. And let's stretch, guys. Amazing work. You got through it. One more pigeon stretch. Bring the knee up and through. I like to kind of like wiggle around in it, stay moving, fall forward. Let's get the other side. Wiggle around. Let's get a down dog, up dog, high plank. Send the hips back. Can't do a sesh without a down dog, up dog. Drop the hips and look up. Let's get our hip flexor stretch, because I know we are trying to do this as much as possible with our little hip flexor challenge. So I'm going to open up my left hips, pull back, and straighten out the front leg. Pull back. And straighten out the front leg. And drop that chest. Woo, get those hamstrings. This hamstring is so much tighter for me. Let's get our ragdoll pose. Drop the chest. Elbows side to side. And come up nice and slow. Woo, amazing work, guys. I know this is not anyone's favorite time, but it's okay. I will see you, oh my God, I'm so sweaty. I'll see you later this week.